And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the next episode of New Earth TV Live. Happy to be with you here all today on this beautiful Friday. So today we're going to be doing some inner practice work. We're also going to be doing some distance healing also. And of course, we'll be getting into general Q&A near about the latter half of the broadcast. So some exciting information to come today. But first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and move into some announcements. Beautiful, sacred geometrical clothing, apparel, and accessories imbued with spirit source energy to heal, rejuvenate, detoxify, and strengthen the body. Shop now at healingcodeshop.com.
The latest revelation in alternative healing has arrived. The Healing Code Cards, a spiritual technology unlike anything else. Through the power of sacred geometry imbued with pure source energy, physical ailments can become eliminated and detoxified from your body. 36 cards specifically designed to work on the major areas of the body, encouraging natural recovery and increased vitality. Working with the cards are easy, and their healing results are profound. Download our collection of free sample cards so you can experience results for yourself. And don't forget to view our customer testimonials. Our printed Healing Code card deck is available now with shipping available worldwide. Visit our website at healingcodecards.com.
And of course, private sessions are available, 15 and 30-minute sessions. And of course, Spirit Insight sessions, 3-question private email sessions are also available. They're getting booked up pretty fast right now. So with the offline sessions, there are a couple spots left for the end of June, but it is moving into July. And of course, with the one-to-one private sessions, a lot of late May is being booked up, but June is still available for one-to-one private sessions. So you can check all this out. Just go to newearthteachings.com. And you can also join in the group Q&A sessions, which again happen bi-weekly. Our next one is coming up this coming Wednesday, I should say. This coming Wednesday. And so again, you can sign up for the single membership on patreon.com. You can also enjoy all the content that's contained on Patreon. So go ahead and check that out, patreon.com/newearthteachings, and sign up for the bi-weekly group Q&A sessions. They're awesome. And a reminder that our YouTube channel here, the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel, is backed up through Odyssey. So again, if you want to follow along with the backup channel as well too, you can do so, odyssey.com/@newearthteachings. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and begin today's broadcast. Again, hello to everybody. Thank you for being here. So we're going to start off with some inner practices. And one of the things we're going to work with today is learning how to go into the alpha state quite easily. Okay, I have talked about this before in regards to brainwave states. Okay, and so a very, very simple way about learning how to go into alpha just involves you doing this. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to hold that for 1 minute and just see how you feel, right? Just continue to breathe normally, but you're just looking up. And as you're looking up, you're moving yourself into the alpha brainwave state. So let's go ahead and try that now for 1 minute. Okay, and that's about 1 minute. Whew, feeling lighter. So doing that for a whole minute, that's bringing you up into alpha. And of course, you don't have to spend that long into alpha. I just wanted to do the 1 minute demonstration, but even if you're just doing this for about 10 to 15 seconds, that's moving you into the alpha brainwave state. Well, Brad, what about the theta brainwave state? So the theta brainwave state is actually something very interesting. There's a couple different ways that we can go into it. One of the best ways is to stimulate goosebumps onto your arms, okay? So you may have a favorite song, right? Maybe a favorite song. You may also have a very, very precious moment within your mind, just something that was very tender and beautiful and just kind of melted your heart while you think about that, right? And it almost creates like this delightful chill that runs up and down your spine. And it may become so delightful that you may start to get goosebumps on your arm, okay? That's how you're able to naturally move into the theta brainwave state. The second way is just with your eyes closed, just being able to imagine someone very beautiful directly in front of you, right? So maybe it's your partner, right? Maybe it's a dream wife or dream husband, whatever it may be. But you're able to see their face, you're able to see their form, and you're just really excited to see them, right? You're just excited, you're happy, your vibration just instantly changes. It may also be just the idea that you're seeing a beautiful angel right in front of your face, right? Just like a perfect face, perfect form, beautiful light shining from them. And you get that chill, right? You get that really good chill, right? That's another way, is we're basically taking mental stimulation and we're letting the physical body react to it, okay? Another idea is if you're really, really hungry and you have like your favorite food item right in front of your face and you're so hungry, you're just imagine like you're biting right into this food item and your salivary glands actually start to increase. So your body is being stimulated by the mental stimulation that you're putting forward. And that's moving us into the theta state, okay? So one of the easy ways, see if you can stimulate chills in the spine, see if you can stimulate the goosebumps. That's moving you into the theta, okay? What about the delta state? Okay, the delta brainwave state. It's where you're feeling like someone is watching you from behind, okay? But I'd say try and make it in a pleasant way, right? Think of someone very, very nice behind you who's just watching you from behind. And you almost have that sensation, that impulse to turn around to feel like someone's watching you from behind, okay? So it's kind of like the feeling of just being watched. There's been practices with this with psychic ability as well too, that they would perform experiments of someone just watching a person from behind, and that person all of a sudden turns around and sees that person looking at them. It's kind of like this happens to me, but my ears kind of perk up a little bit. I kind of get the sensing that somebody is watching me. And so your ears kind of perk up, at least that's how they do with me, and there's just kind of a feeling, a compulsion to turn around. Okay? So it's that feeling of like someone's just watching you from behind, right? The ears start to perk up. So we're kind of just freezing that moment, just that impulse before we turn around. We have that feeling. It's kind of like the senses are perking up. Someone's watching me, right? So Forrest Knudsen also talks about the idea of someone like trying to scare you from behind or trying to jump and touch you from behind in that way. There's that, but I look at it in this way so it's not so intimidating. This is why I say just imagine like a person that you have a great amount of love and respect for behind is just watching you casually from behind, and you just know that you're being watched from behind, right? You just kind of have your ears perk up, your senses kind of perk up, and that's going into the delta state. So the delta state is kind of that very strong state of intuition to where you're being watched and you want to turn around. So that's the delta state, okay? And finally, well, Brad, how about the gamma state? How about the gamma frequencies? Well, the gamma state is a little bit more of a different creature in that way. So when we're looking at the alpha state, we look up. When we look at theta state, chills and goosebumps. When we look at the delta state, feeling like someone's watching you behind. When you're moving into the gamma, you want to basically move into a state of, it's basically states of absolute bliss. It's bliss and happiness and joy. And so one of those forms is just going into very deep meditation where you're going into no mind, right? Where you basically are able to transcend your thoughts and you go directly into no mind. So it's not an easy thing to do off the bat. You have to continue to practice this way. And you go into meditation and you just work to calm the mind completely, right? So if we're looking into certain forms of yoga practices, right? When we're looking into pratyahara, when we're looking into ajapa japa, okay? When we're looking into sensory withdrawal, right? which again is pratyahara. We're looking at single pointed focus. We're going in that, which is dharana, and we're going into dhyana, which represents the idea of just that pure awareness, that true meditation, right? Then we go into samadhi, right? And as we go into samadhi, this is where we're going into absorption and moving into the union with the self. So it's between those kind of states where you could really look into the idea of sensory withdrawal, with the idea of single-pointed focus, with the idea of just being in your awareness with a completely clear, empty mind, and then going into samadhi. And it's through those stages where you're just feeling a lightness within yourself, and you feel like these bliss states are coming, and it gets higher and higher. And I've been able to wire myself up with the Muse headband here, and looked into those states when I was basically just going into single-pointed focus and going into no mind. And that's kind of where the gamma waves step up. Especially when I'm going into a single-pointed focus, I may just focus on an object, and then I'll take that object away, and then I'll just go into the stillness of mind. The gamma really spikes up, right? So it goes up to about the 60 decibels to about 65, 68, 69. And it just continues to kind of hang up in that little bit more of a heightened state. So it's kind of going between the single-pointed focus and the no-mind state. And that's a beautiful thing. So like I said, it takes practice. It certainly takes commitment. It takes time. But that is, again, how the gamma is done. It's something that's not really that you can really consciously control. You're basically just going into the alignment, and then the gamma just naturally steps up on its own. It's a very interesting frequency. Those are more the frequencies of the higher self. That's like the God frequency. That's like the higher self frequency. That's where, again, you're getting these download states, these states of immense bliss and pure happiness flowing through. So that I would consider to be the brainwave state of the higher self. So quite interesting. So we're going to do one more practice, guys, and we're going to go ahead and move into healing. Okay, so again, if you guys do have some distance healing requests, either for yourself or for somebody else, you can feel free to put that into the chat. What we're going to do right now is we're going to work with Hakalao. Okay, so this is, again, the Hawaiian tradition of that feeling where you are basically just present with your space and you're taking in all of your space. Okay, so what I do with Hakalao first is we do what's known as the peripheral pillars. Okay, so we take the index fingers and we just put them on the edge, right at the edge of our peripheral vision. And we just want to make sure that we can see our index fingers standing up like pillars, just right at the edge of our peripherals. And we want to just bring our attention to the fingers. Okay, so we're taking in the left and the right side. We're aware of what's in front of us. We're also being very heavily aware of what is in our peripheral vision here, right at the edge, relating to the two index fingers. And you'll feel as your mind just starts to completely quiet itself down because your attention is on these. Okay? Once we've done that, we place our hands down on our lap, and now we're going to do 360-degree awareness. So this is where we're feeling, of course, we don't have eyes in the back of our head, but we're creating an awareness of what is in front of us, what is beside us, what is behind us. We're taking in the entire room. And what this is doing is this is moving you into the right brain. This is moving you into the higher mind. So we're going from lower mind, which again really is just us focusing right ahead in our foveal vision, to our expanded mind, right into the higher mind. Okay? So I want you to imagine that right now. I want you to be aware, not really imagine, but rather just to be aware of your surroundings right now, from the front, the sides, and behind, taking in your space 360 degrees. Be aware of this now. Okay, so that's a simple exercise you can continue to do. And a lot of people say, well, Brad, how do I get into the higher mind? We were just there. We were just in the higher mind as you start to expand your awareness 360 degrees. When we're doing this, when we're just focusing on the peripheral pillars, And the index fingers are in the peripheral edge. Okay? We're in the higher mind. We're in the right brain. Because our lower mind is now quieting down because we're just giving our attention to the fingers. And then we're giving our attention to 360-degree awareness. And as we stay in that 360-degree awareness, your mind gets calm. You start to relax. You're just breathing normally, and you're relaxing yourself, and you're just aware of that 360-degree awareness. And you're in the higher mind. You're in the right brain. Okay? That's how simple it is. And so the more that we continue to practice this each and every day, it will be very, very simple for you to go into the higher mind, for you to go into the right brain, just by doing these simple exercises. Right? Heart rate variability helps you to go there as well too, helping to stimulate the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic nervous system to calm you down, to get yourself into the low idle state. Right? Like I said, triggering yourself into those brainwave states can also help, and working with the process of Hakalao can also help you to go there. All right? Okay, guys, so that's it for the practices, and we're going to go ahead and move on now to distance healing. So again, if you guys do have some requests, feel free to put it out. We are going to do the healing power here today. Okay, so I'm just scrolling right at the very top of the chat. I'm just going to go ahead and go into the live chat here. And so this question here is first from Akira. Okay, Akira has 2 requests. So I'll work with both of your requests, Akira. Okay, I'm going to work with you first, and I'm going to work with your trucker friend. Okay. So the first question is, hello, Brad. My trucker friend of 40 years has severe kidney problems and asking for healing, please. She is 70 and cannot afford to stop driving. She is on the road for 2 to 3 months at a time. Okay. So I'm going to work with that secondly, Akira. Okay. I don't mind that you have 2 requests. That's fine. I'll be happy to fulfill both of your requests here. Since you were the first person to respond and post on the chat today, I'll do you that favor. But first, we're going to work on your own issue here. Okay, so Akira says, asking for healing in my left elbow. Have a huge golf ball. You say goofball, but I imagine you're saying golf ball. I got a huge goofball. Huge golf ball size cyst of some sort. No insurance and do not trust doctors. Slowly started growing and getting painful. Thank you for all you do. Okay. So even after I do the healing on you today, Akira, I want you just to spend some time just doing some prana work to your elbow. I think you said it was your left elbow. Okay. So what you're doing, if there's a cyst right around here, I want you just to putting your hand as close to that cyst as possible without actually putting your hand on the cyst or any area of the arm that may be painful. And all I want you to do first of all is I want you just to rub your hands like this for about 7 to 10 seconds. Okay? Rub them vigorously. Okay, after you do that, spirit breath in. Breathe in the spirit light. Breathe out the spirit light. Breathe in the spirit light. Breathe out the spirit light. Breathe in the spirit light. Breathe out the spirit light. Okay, and rub your hands some more. Really getting some warmth there. Okay, and I just want you to put your hand as close to the elbow as possible without causing any pain and not putting it over the cyst. But I want you to feel that spirit light that you have drawn into yourself. And I want you to feel all that spirit light that you're continuing to breathe in now. And you're just saturating the entire elbow with spirit light. Okay? And you're saying the following affirmation. God is making me better and better. 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 Okay, so breathe in spirit light. God is making me better and better. Breathe out. Breathe in. God is making me better and better. God is making me better and better. Okay, and just continue to repeat. I'd say do that for about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, this is after I do a healing work on you today. Okay, so please remember that. Very important. I think that will help you out a lot pertaining to your elbow situation. Okay, I can respect if you don't want to see a doctor or anything. That's your choice, of course. But please make sure you're tending to your injury. It's very, very important. All right. Okay, so Akira, just get yourself nice and comfortable because, like I said, I'm going to work with you first, then I'll work with your friend. Okay. So, placing your hands upon the center of your chest, we're going to take some deep breaths in and out. So, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, relaxing yourself now, taking your hands and putting it into prayer posture. Placing your hands in prayer posture right at the center of your chest. I want you now to imagine that your heart is turning transparent. You see your heart transparent and you see the spirit light contained inside the heart. That spirit light is now moving past the heart and entering in between both of your palms. And now as we inhale, we're making that spirit light in between the palms brighter and brighter. As we exhale, we're making that spirit light in between the palms bigger and bigger as we extend the hands. Brighter and brighter as we inhale, bigger and bigger as we exhale. Brighter and brighter as we inhale, bigger and bigger as we exhale. Brighter and brighter, bigger and bigger, brighter and brighter, bigger and bigger, brighter and brighter, bigger and bigger. Making our hands fully extended out. Okay? And we can just place our hands gently upon our lap. And I want you just to concentrate on that light right now that you have made as big as the universe itself. Okay? So you're looking at your universal-sized spirit light, as this represents your love, your trust, and your faith. And I want you to say to yourself right now an affirmation. I completely believe that what I will receive will heal me. I completely believe that what I will receive will heal me. Okay? Let's begin. God's Spirit is with you now, Akira. All of the love and all of the light of Spirit in divine perfection shrouds your body. And the potency of that Spirit light now fills the cyst around your left elbow. And that potent Spirit light that is around your left elbow right now, directly targeting the cyst, is now working to shrinking the cyst, to shrinking it, to shrinking it, to shrinking it. You will be well. You will recover from this. Know that you are to continue to work with Spirit. Every time that you bring healing to the elbow, know that Spirit is working with you. And Spirit is working with you here and now to shrinking that cyst entirely. You are blessed. You are well, you are radiant. Blessings to you, dear child. Okay, so Akira, I want you now just to take your hands out again and just fully grabbing a hold of your light and slowly bringing it back, slowly retracting again. And as you're retracting it, you're saying aloud or in your mind, God is making me better and better. 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 Putting all of that light back into your heart. Okay, so continue to work with the healing technique that I have taught you. Okay? Continue to work on that every single day. Even work with it frequently, multiple times per day, for the greater results. Okay? But Spirit is with you now. Spirit is working on your condition now too. Be well. Thank you. Okay, so Akira, we're going to work with your friend now. I didn't get your friend's name, so I'll just refer to her as Akira's friend. Okay, the trucker who's having severe kidney problems. Okay, so I'm just going to call upon Akira's friend. the trucker. Okay. Okay, she is present with me now. And so I'm just communicating with her higher self, just telling her higher self just to place the hands in prayer posture, seeing the heart turn transparent, putting all the spirit light of the heart directly in between the palms, making it brighter and brighter and bigger as you inhale and exhale. Okay, extending it all the way out. Feeling that light as vast as the cosmos itself, putting the hands down upon the lap, and now beginning the healing process. And blessings to you, dearest daughter. You are well, you are radiant, you are pure, you are perfection. And now through her higher self, just taking all of that light again, bringing it back in. Again saying, God is making me better and better. 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 Putting all of that healing light back into the heart. And knowing that the kidneys are being restored. The kidneys are being worked on. Your friend really needs to learn to take it easy, Akira. She works way too hard. She works too rigorously. If she continues to do a lot of this rigorous work, even though there will be some healing work done on the kidneys, it can repeat itself again. She has to learn to slow down. She has to learn to relax. She has to learn to recuperate. She has to learn to listen to her body. If she does not listen to her body, this is going to come back to her and it's going to be worse. Okay? So work is being done on her right now. Please deliver that message to her. She's working too hard. She needs to relax. She needs to recuperate. She needs to listen to her body. You do not want to make something like this worse. Okay? So blessings to you both. Thank you very much. Okay, going down the list here. This one is for Carol. Carol says, asking for healing. After my removal of cancer, I was left with scarring of the lungs and cannot walk around at one level store without getting totally exhausted, even though my stats read 98%. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely some impact on the lungs there, of course. So Carol, yes, we will work with that now. So Carol, just placing your hands upon the center of your chest, taking some deep breaths in and out. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, placing your hands now in prayer posture, putting on the center of your chest, seeing your heart as transparent, seeing the spirit light in the heart moving into the spot in between your palms. Again, so inhale, making it brighter and brighter. Exhale, extending the hands, making the light bigger and bigger. Brighter and brighter, 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 bigger and bigger. Fully extending your hands out as far and as wide as they can go. Making that light as big as the universe itself. Placing the hands down on your lap now. Okay, tuning into your light, knowing that this is your love, your trust, and your faith. Okay, and you're saying once again to yourself, I completely believe that what I shall receive will heal me. I completely believe that what I shall receive will heal me. Okay? And here we go. We will begin. Okay, so Carol, I want you now just to take your hands back out once again, bringing all that light back in. Again, saying, God is making me better and better. 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 Putting all of that light back into the heart. Keep saying that affirmation throughout the day. Okay, directly to your lungs, as your single pointed focus is directly to the lungs. Okay. The idea of that cancer that you had in your lungs altogether came from obsessive worry and anxiety and panic. You have to learn to bring yourself into calmness, neutralize yourself, bring positive reinforcement into your life. BCR Technique 30-Day Challenge, okay? On my playlists on this YouTube channel. Please look into that, okay? We really want to bring a lot of love into ourselves. There's been a lot of neglect, a lot of lack with that love within yourself, a lot of panic, anxiety, and fear. So we want to clear a lot of that out. That's why your lungs have been so severely effective, even after the surgery as well too. Okay. With the removal of the cancer, we want to make sure we're taking good care of the lungs because they have been hit very, very hard with a lot of stress, tension pertaining to panic, anxiety, and fear. Okay. So positive reinforcement, love into the lungs, really reinforcing that strong, and that's how we continue to maintain this healing. Okay. Blessings to you. You are radiant, you are well, you are healthy, you are pure, you are perfect. Endless blessings to you, dearest daughter, and thank you. Okay, so moving down the list here. Valentina says, distant healings work anytime afterwards, right? It depends on the person. There are some people who are able to feel an instantaneous effect with the healing power that I do. Some people can feel it within a day. Some people can feel it within a week, right? It just depends. All depends upon the person. Nonetheless, that work is being done. I don't have a time limit on it, right? It's just spirit goes to that person, spirit does the work, and however long it takes is however long it takes, based upon the person. So that would be the answer to your question, Valentina. Okay. So here's a healing request from Sandra. Okay, Sandra says, diabetes type 2, please. And there's also one here with Kim and Janet as well, too. So Sandra, Kim, and Janet, I'll be working on you three. So Sandra, starting off firstly with you, with diabetes type 2. Okay. So Sandra, just joining me right now. We'll start off with this. Okay, just placing your hands upon the center of your chest. Deep breaths in and out. Okay, placing your hands in prayer posture. Seeing your heart turn transparent. Seeing the spirit light going in between your palms, making it brighter and brighter as you inhale. Bigger and bigger as you exhale, extending out the hands. Brighter and brighter, bigger and bigger. 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 Okay? Feeling that light fully extended outwards. Okay, making it as large as the universe itself. Knowing that this is your love, your trust, and your faith. And again, saying to yourself, I completely believe that this will... let me go back. I completely believe that what I receive will heal me. I completely believe that what I receive will heal me. Okay? There we go. Okay, so I'll go ahead and begin that process now, and we'll begin. Blessings to you, dearest daughter. You are well, you are radiant, you are pure, you are perfection. Okay, so Sandra, right now, I just want you to bring your hands back up once again. Just feeling all of that energy now, that light, being retracted back into yourself. And again, saying, God is making me better and better. 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 Putting all of that light back into the heart. Okay, so Sandra, likewise, there has been a lot of obsessive worry. I was actually going into your brain and pulling out a lot of deep thought forms that have been very, very sabotaging and very, very self-abusive. Okay, so those thoughts are being pulled out, those mentalities are being pulled out. There's a lot of inflammation in the area of the chest here. Okay, with the pancreas, with the liver, with the stomach, with the lungs, with the spleen. Okay. So there's been a lot of redness there. So basically just having spirit go in and just restoring all of that there. And a lot of that is emotional pressure, emotional conflict, and mental trauma. Okay, that's how diabetes starts. It's not just the idea in that sense of what we're getting on a dietary level. Okay, it's our emotional and mental states that build up very heavily over time. And that takes a major toll, puts a lot of pressure on the body, puts a lot of pressure on the organs, and the body basically has to go into emergency mode. And one of those emergency modes is a diabetic protocol. Okay, that's a lockdown. That's an emergency protocol. So once we start to clear all that up, we clear up that debris. So BCR technique 30-day challenge on my playlists, on my YouTube channel. Okay, we got to really bring down that swelling. But Spirit's working on it, clearing a lot of that debris, but it's your job to maintain this. Okay, and to maintain this, BCR. Okay? Thank you very much. Blessings to you. Okay, let's go now to Kim. So Kim says, healing please. Can you please send healing to my brother Ronnie? He has Alzheimer's. Thank you. Okay. So I'll be connecting with Ronnie's higher self. So I just call upon Ronnie's higher self right now to join me here. Okay. So I see his light body present, his higher self body. Okay. We're just going to place our hands in prayer posture, making the heart transparent. Expanding the light. Inhale, making it brighter and brighter. Exhale, making it bigger and bigger. Brighter and brighter. Bigger and bigger. Brighter and brighter. Bigger and bigger. Brighter and brighter. Bigger and bigger. Making it as expansive as the universe itself. Putting all the love and the trust and the faith of that light. Knowing that which shall be brought here today will be in complete belief that through this healing process, Ronnie will be healed. I will now begin. Love and blessings to Ronnie's higher self and to Ronnie himself. You are blessed, you are well, you are radiant, you are pure, you are perfection. Okay, Ronnie's higher self, now just taking all of that light, bring it back into the self now, retracting it back, putting it back into the heart. God is making me better and better. 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 Putting it right back into the heart. Okay, a lot of healing work, a lot of spirit work is being done on Ronnie right now. Okay, so just keep an eye on him, Kim. Okay, keep sending your love to him as well too, as all this work is now being brought into the physical body as it's coded into the etheric body. All right, thank you very much. Blessings to you both. Okay, let's go down now to Janet. Janet has a request here. Please include my mother's severe facial nerve pain. Thank you, Brad. Okay. So that she's also reaching out to the community members as well, too. Okay, this is for Janet's mother. So she has severe facial nerve pain. So if you guys also want to offer healing, loving assistance to Janet's mother, this is also appreciated. So Janet, yes, I will call forward your mother's higher self now to be with me. Janet's mother's higher self. Okay, she is present with me now. Placing hands in prayer posture. Expanding the light. Okay, hands on the lap. The love, the trust, and the faith representing the light that is now as large as the universe itself. And complete and total faith, absolutely believing that what is being sent here now will heal her. Okay. We will begin. Okay, blessing to Janet Mother's higher self and to Janet's mother. Thank you, everybody, again, who contributed with that healing as well. Love and blessings to her. Okay, so that facial pain will be going away. Okay, will be clearing away. That, again, is her bearing her feelings. That is her bearing her heavy thoughts. That is her bearing her heavy emotions, affecting her nervous system, going up into her face. Because, again, there's also the feeling of speech. That's a problem right now. Right? Problem with her being frustrated with her own physical body is also another particular sense, and just frustrations with others as well. So there's just been a lot of build-up over time that, again, comes to the face with severe nerve pain. Okay, but that is being cleared out now. So Jeanette, thank you very much. Blessings to you and your mom. Send her lots of love. Remind her lots of love into her life. Okay, it's very, very important. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, we're going to do 2 more healing requests, then we're going to go into Q&A. Okay, so just 2 more requests. We are going to do an end of session group healing as well, too, at the very end of the broadcast, so stay tuned for that as well, too, if I don't get around to you. Okay, this is from Canada, oh Canada. Healing for my niece, please, who thinks she has Morgellons. Okay, so I'll just refer to you as CLC, if that's okay. Okay, this is for CLC's niece, who thinks she has Morgellons. Okay. So I will call upon CLC's niece right now. Her higher self. Okay, your higher self is now present with me. Okay, blessing to CLC's niece. She is purified, she is whole, she is well, she is radiant, she is perfection. Okay, taking all that light now, returning it back into the body. God is making me better and better. 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 Putting that back into the heart. Okay, so she's going to be clear of any of those conditions that she's placed upon herself will be cleared out. Okay, it's already in her etheric body, now just melding together with her physical. All right, blessings to you both. Thank you. Okay, guys, 1 more healing request, then we're going to Q&A. Okay, this one's from Mana. Mana says, can I please have cleared the source of skin tags and sunspots? Thank you. Okay. All right, so Mana, right now, just placing both of your hands upon the center of your chest. Taking a deep breath in and out. And again. And one more time. Okay. So this has to do with your liver, Mana. So make sure you're taking good care of your liver. There's some contamination in the liver. That's why skin tags and sunspots form. Okay. Liver complications. All right. So it's good to look into liver detoxification, liver purification. Okay, placing your hands now upon the center of your chest in prayer posture, seeing your heart turning transparent, seeing the spirit light coming from your heart, putting it directly into the center of both palms. Okay, deep breath in, brightening that light. Deep breath out, expanding the light as you expand the hands. Brighter and brighter, bigger and bigger. 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 Okay, knowing that this is your love, your trust, and your faith that is now the size of the universe itself. Okay, and again, stating the affirmation, I completely believe that what I shall receive will heal me. Okay, we shall begin. Okay, Mana. So your body is now being recovered from this, clearing away a lot of the toxicity, a lot of the debris is contained inside the liver, many of the major organs as well too, that has been clogged up by contamination and debris, being removed from your body, being purged from the body. Specialized cells working together to clear out those spots in the body to which the skin tags and sunspots on the skin have formed. Okay, know that you are well, that you are radiant, that you are pure, that you are perfection, dearest daughter. And now, just extending your hands once again, taking all of that light, slowly bringing it in, retracting it back into yourself. God is making me better and better. 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 Putting all that light back into the heart. And blessings to you. Thank you very much. Okay. So thank you, everybody, for all of your healing requests. Like I said, at the end of the broadcast, I will be doing a group healing. Okay, so you guys can join on that if I've missed you today. Okay. Thank you very much. So now we're going to go ahead and move into Q&A. So if you guys do have any questions for me, feel free to put it on the chat here. And I'll just go through the list. Okay, so like I said, if you guys also have healing requests for other people, make sure that you're sending that love energy to them as I do the group healing at the end of the broadcast today, okay? That can help, really does. All right. So again, guys, if you have general questions, you can feel free to post that on the chat now. Okay, this is an update from Akira. Beautiful, thank you for the healings. My trucker friend called as your show started, so we will redo this again. Her name is Teresa. My experience, well, I immediately felt the energy, rolling tears. That's fantastic, Akira. So remember the technique I was teaching you, okay? Work together with the cyst. Each day that you work on it, it'll become lesser and lesser, okay? All right. Okay, so I'll start off with the first general question here. This is for Adam. Adam says, question, is the RV close for humanity? Imminent, really, I would say. If we're looking at RV, we're looking at remuneration value. Okay, so remuneration value, the idea of the reset coming together, like I said, 2023 is where we're going to really see the benchmark of that coming together, but we'll start to see the fruits of this change happening here in 2022. So like I said, I was talking about this yesterday on New Earth Insights. If you guys didn't tune into that, I highly recommend you check that out. So I was talking on quite a bit of different things yesterday. But like I said, what I was saying yesterday on the broadcast is that we're seeing the fiat currency system die out. We're going to see the end of the financial fiat system as it is. There's going to be a financial crash. There's going to be maybe a stock market crash as well too. There will be some type of financial tower incident. That's basically what I would refer to it as. The tower pertaining to finances. So that time is coming, right? And it basically has to come. The fiat currency system needs to plummet. As it plummets, the new quantum financial systems will be coming in and taking its place. And so we're going to be seeing that. Like I said, we're seeing the fruits of those changes right now. This quantum financial system has been online for quite some time, and it's just awaiting the right moment to swoop in and take the place of a dying fiat currency system. So we're going to see that more from what I was seeing, definitely even through March, April, May, June. Okay, we're going to see more and more of the fruits of that taking place. This financial crash needs to happen and plummet so that the new RV, the new financial systems on a quantum level can come together. Okay, so we're on the verge of that. So thank you for your question. And Janet, thank you for your contribution. Thank you, everybody, as well, too, she says. Thank you, Brad and community. All right. Blessings to you and to your mom as well. All right. Okay. Okay, here's a general question here from Mana. Mana says, question, are we going to see public positive change for Canada by the end of March? Well, it's very interesting that you brought that up because here in British Columbia, Canada right now, they're scaling back on the mandates. Okay, so they're ending the mask mandate right now for British Columbia, and they're letting more indoor events happen now, right? It's kind of like it's a sanitized push for relaxing a lot of the mandates, which is fine because this is happening before the end of April. But it's not the full out intention that many people really want, right? The people who have been standing up and who have been working together with the freedom convoys and the rallies all across Canada and, of course, in many different countries want to see this completely abolished. And it's not completely abolished, right? There's still some federal protocols pertaining to the idea of the mandates, right? People who work with the government, people who are doctors, nurses, right? People who are working with financial institutions, okay? They still have to get poked. So this is not progress, okay? I've likened it to the analogy of basically taking an innocent person who hasn't done anything, and they've basically shackled them from head to toe, and they put them in this very small, confined cell. Over the time that progresses, they finally go into the cell and they say to this person, okay, good news. We get to take your shackles off today. Oh, well, that's a relief. All right, so taking off the neck shackles, taking off the chest shackles, taking off the wrist shackles, taking off the ankle shackles, taking off the ankle weights. Oh, well, that feels better. Oh, we got other good news for you. Oh, yeah, what's that? Well, you get to leave this cell today. Oh, great. So now he's being taken out of the cell. He has no shackles on himself, but then he's thrown into a much more bigger cell. He thought he was getting out. He thought this was over, but they just transferred him to a small cell and brought him into a bigger cell that's a little more spacious. Okay? And that would be the equivalence about what the government is doing pertaining to mandates. Okay? Well, we're taking the shackles off and we'll take you out of the small cell, but we're going to put you in the big cell. You'll have more space to move around and you just won't be shackled around. Okay? That is not progress. Okay? That is still them trying to assert their authority. And that's not good enough. Right? So a lot of provinces around Canada now are starting to loosen the mandates, but like I said, all they're doing is they're taking off the shackles. They're taking out of a small cell, but they're putting you into a big one. And you're still in a cell. You're still in a cage. Okay? This is not progress. This is not it. Okay? When the Freedom Convoys came together, it was 100% dissolvement of the vaccination agendas, of the mandates, everything, completely, entirely. So this is not over. This is not finished, right? The convoy was still in Ottawa right now. They said that's not good enough. Nope. We want 100% total release and dissolvement of every single mandate that has been unlawfully applied. Every single one. Not some of them. All of it. Okay? So this is still ongoing. This is still a battle. Right? So people are still going to retaliate against this because this is not change. This is just taking your shackles off, taking out of a small cell, putting you into a big one. Okay? There may be some other countries that are doing the same sort of thing as well to say, yeah, okay, we'll loosen some stuff off, but we're not going to totally loosen it because, like I said, that's the Khazarian Mafia's lifeline. They completely remove 100% of all of the mandates. They're finished, and they will never be able to rebound. So we're like, yeah, we'll give you some cushioning. We'll give you some padding here. We'll give you a more spacious cell. And you have a comfortable bed to sleep in, right? You got a nice toilet, you got privacy, you got your sink, we even got your little mini fridge, okay? But you're still in a cell. So again, it's not over, guys. It's not over yet. So this again is kind of fulfilling what I've been sharing, that yes, the mandates will certainly be shifting, right, and minimalizing, but they're not completely gone yet. So we're still going to be working on this. We're still working together as a collective to say that's not good enough. We want 100% of the mandates gone. No negotiation about it, non-negotiable. It needs to be 100% gone. And that's when people know that victory has been achieved. Okay? So you ask about the positive times ahead for Canada. Well, we still have to make those positive times ahead. We're still in the process of that happening. Okay? This is not something that is over yet. Okay? There's still a lot more that needs to be done. Because like I said, March is a very heavy month. April is going to be a lot more of a golden, shining month. Okay? April is a very, very beautiful month that's going to come. There's going to be a lot more positive energy flowing through April from what I can feel, mainly because of the potent Pluto energies. Okay? The energies of Pluto are really going to impact the month of April. We're going to see some massive changes. And the only way these mandates are ever going to be 100% cleared is when everyone who is responsible that is keeping them there is taken out of commission, is taken out of the picture, is dethroned, is detained, and is processed, and there is new transitional government coming together. They may change their narrative, but it's because they basically say, you either end this right now, or we're taking you in, right? So however it's going to shift, that's really what needs to happen. There needs to be that tremendous shift where someone's actually being taken out of the picture altogether. They're basically being told, you either change your narrative or we're taking you in. Whatever it is, that big shift is what needs to happen. Because basically it's still the KM saying, oh, okay, just soften it up to make it look like we're cooperating, but we're not. Okay? That's their lifeline. That is their bread and butter. They lose that, they're finished. And they will lose that. But it might take a little bit more time. Okay? So that's what I can say. Positive change is for us to do. We have to deliver that. This is why I talk about, right, we're looking into timelines that are not cemented in stone. We're creating them right now. And we want to make that positive timeline even greater. The more people that unify and come together and work together en masse and start seeing these positive things through that common thought, you are expanding that thought, and that is going to overtake the debris thoughts that are still creating these mandates. Okay? So we're making a gigantic thought and we're putting it out there. And that thought is going to have so much gravity and so much energy that it will completely annihilate the thoughts of corruption. That's the idea. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay. So here's one from Grow here. Grow Wenche Pedersen. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Grow says, yesterday you told about Sweden, has the same been happening in Norway at the same time with the government people here who is working there. So why don't we do a look at Norway, okay, because I was looking at quite a few countries yesterday. So again, if you guys do have country requests, we can look at that today as well too. So let's look at Norway right now, both in regards to what I was talking about yesterday, pertaining to critical mass and the ending of their mandates. All right, so we'll take a look at that. And so, what is the critical mass status for Norway? And what is the road ahead for them pertaining to the end of their mandatory mandates coming to an end? Okay, here we go. Okay, so in the past, again, there's improvement happening. There's improvement happening behind the scenes. Okay, there's a lot of things that are starting to move forward. Okay, so like you said, you can see that that's showing me pretty much that critical mass has reached Norway. Okay, so again, people are realizing, right, through the environment, or so I'd say not the environment, but through the present moment right now, they want to move away from all of these agendas. So again, that's another sign of critical mass being reached. Okay, they're moving away from a bad situation. So that is certainly taking place. Okay, this is the environment. So this can represent health. This can represent vitality. This can represent wealth. This can represent, again, a good omen to come together through the environment. So change is coming. Change is taking place. New leadership may be coming forward as well, too. Okay, this is the secret in the background. Okay, so there are, again, I would say a lot of the corrupt that are on guard. Okay, I think a lot of them are being processed. I think a lot of them are being rounded up as well too. Okay, so they're definitely be on guard. I think they may also be on the run. But basically they're getting access denied pertaining to a lot of their plans that they're trying to create for Norway. And this again in the near future, this is showing again the hammer coming down on them. Okay, counter forces working together very diligently with Norway. So again, we're seeing that happen probably within the next 1 to 2 months here. So I'd say within the next couple of months, we're going to see a lot of change happening for Norway. So there is, again, a very strong processing taking place. There's going to be opportunity for new leadership, new transitional government, as I've talked about before. And again, we're seeing the old corrupt, you could see again, the Khazarian mafia being taken out of Norway, being processed. Like I said, guys, all of this is happening right now. This whole agenda is happening right now as a means of using this platform of COVID to work silently and to apprehend a lot of these people behind the scenes that have been operating this, that have been trying to make this into reality, that have been trying to make this long term. So they're basically using their own plans against them. This is why these plans have been allowed to ferment and have been allowed to manifest into physical reality so that they can be used against them. And this is why it's been so prolonged, because more and more takedowns are happening all the time. Okay, so thank you very much, Gro. That's what I can share in regards to Norway. All right. So moving on. Okay, here's one from Lex B. Lex B says, Brad, with all that's being dismantled, will the war on drugs finally be won? Not as long as there's a pharmaceutical industry around. Okay, not as long as there are corrupt psychopathic Khazarian mafia members using the drug trade to make money off of. Okay, all of these things have to be exposed. This is still something that still needs to be exposed, so we're not there yet. Okay, but it is going to be something that is going to be exposed. These things are just happening periodically, right? So now we're seeing things with Russia and Ukraine. Now we're seeing things with oil, right? We're seeing things with the financial system. So a lot of these things need to go through changes first. And as there's changes, there's going to be more stuff coming together. It's going to be very, very clear that governments have been peddling drugs, have been moving drug supply throughout countries for a very, very long time, using intelligence agencies for that. Okay? It's going to be very well known what the pharmaceutical industry has been doing to people. That's pretty obvious now. But a lot of these takedowns still need to happen. It's building, but it's not quite there yet. Okay? So we may see that maybe late 2022, 2023. Okay? So there still needs to be a lot of exposure done. Okay? These things on drugs are not just going to be falling apart. They have to be exposed to the entire world. Just like what's happened with COVID, just like what's happened with the freedom convoys, just like what's happening with Russia, just like what's happening with oil, just like what's happening with the financial markets. All of these things need to be brought out into the open. They need to be globally perceived. They need to be globally exposed. As they're globally exposed, that gives us the chance to take a look at it. So that's certainly coming, the idea of war on drugs and the entire drug industry and all of that. That's an exposure waiting to happen. Okay, that's another domino looking to fall. But yes, it's building up to that point. Okay, thank you, Lex. Okay, this one is from Kim. She has a question about the healing code cards. Just learning the healing code cards, how can I tell if they're working? Are you keeping a notebook handy? Are you writing a diary each and every single day? Okay. Have you picked your 3 cards that you want to work with? Work with them for an entire week. Okay. So you have to look into yourself and saying, well, do I get headaches? Well, then maybe I should use the headache eliminator in the body deck. Is there a problem with my stomach? I should be working with a stomach enhancer. In fact, that's the very first card I suggest you work with, every single one of you, is the stomach enhancer, first and foremost. Okay? And now you choose another card. Okay? Maybe I'll work with my large or small intestine. Okay? So now you start putting it on your body. You start doing the gazing method. You start charging your water with it. You start drinking it down. You can use the capture method, putting your photo on top of the card, and you're keeping track of yourself each day. You wake up the next morning. How are you feeling? Do you feel lighter? Does your stomach feel good? How about your digestion? Is your headache gone? Okay. Keep track of your progress because this is subtle energy. When you're working with the healing code cards, okay, this is subtle energy. This is a subtle energy that's working through your energy and it's coming back to you and your body's being reprogrammed by the codes that are being delivered through your energy. Okay. Are you meditating daily? Are you strengthening your energy? Are you doing breath work? Are you doing yoga exercises? Are you taking good care of yourself? Are you building up the potency of your life force energy? Okay, these are other things to consider. Okay, it's not about saying that the healing code cards are your one and only solution to healing, because they're not. They're an addition to your healing. Okay, so you have a good diet planned, you're working out, you're meditating, right? You're exercising, and you're working together with the healing code cards. So they are an additional complement to your healing practice. So keep a journal handy, keep a diary handy, work together with yourself, document each day how you're feeling as you continue to work with them. Then that's how you'll know, because they work subtly. They're not going to just ring a bell and say, oh, by the way, your liver's all healed now. No, you have to tune into that. It's subtle energy working through you, okay? And you want to give it time. Don't just think that you do it one day and it doesn't do anything. No, this is meant to be long-term. When you're working with the healing code cards, long-term practice. So make sure you're working with them consistently every single day. And I would say spend time 3 to 6 months with them and see how you continue to improve as you're working with other methods as well too, in addition to your overall healing process. Okay? Like I said, they're an addition to your healing, not a replacement. Thank you very much. Okay. Cheryl asked me, hi Brad, do you believe Parkinson's disease is reversible? Cheryl, every single disease that we call disease is reversible because it is not about germ theory. Okay? Germ theory is bunk. The reason why people get sick is because we make ourselves sick. We compromise ourselves. We have billions and billions and billions of bacteria and viruses and pathogens floating into our system all the time, floating through our body every single day. And where there is distress, where there is conflict, where there is harm, where there is harshness, where there is deep belief, right? And all of this sabotage that we put upon ourselves, this is sabotaging our inner body system. And this is creating havoc and activating certain pathogens and viruses, bacteria that comes online. Okay? Our emotions that get very severe kink the flow of our body. The natural life energy cannot flow into the body appropriately. The energetic nervous system that we would call the nadis, working together with the chakra centers, become impaired. And as that gets impaired, it now starts to reciprocate from an etheric to a physical level where the physical body is also being impaired. And as it gets impaired, this is where a lot of the natural bacteria and viruses and pathogens within our system start to go and wreak havoc because we are not taking care of ourselves. We are completely oblivious to taking care of ourselves properly. And over time, this is what leads into a variety of different conditions, such as Parkinson's, such as Alzheimer's, such as dementia, such as diabetes, such as cancer, right? Such as eczema, such as psoriasis, such as heart disease. It goes on and on and on, okay? This is all coming from people that do not know how to take care of themselves. They're eating improperly. They're not taking care of themselves from the inside. They're eating junk food. They're getting stressed out. They're tense. They're angry. They're upset. They're fearful. They're filled with panic and anxiety. And this takes a toll on the body. The body is a gauge. It is a physical gauge to letting you know this is how you feel about yourself. This is what you've been going through with all of your emotional and mental distraught nature. And now it's causing all of these conditions to form. I would not really call them disorders. They are, in a sense, disorders because it's chaos. But these are conditions that we apply within ourselves. We're not getting it from the outside. It's all coming from within ourselves. And then the body is getting a toll hit on it because of what we are putting upon ourselves etherically. Right? The etheric body gets all clogged up, gets all ingested, gets all of these problems, and it therefore reciprocates in through the physical body to where there is physical injury and physical illness. Okay? That's how it works. This is sympathetic resonance. That's the nature about how illness truly is formed. So, what do? Positive reinforcement. What do? We do things like the BCR technique. We do things like deep breathing. We do yoga practices. We do Qigong. We do exercise. We eat properly. We're making our emotional body well. We're making our mental body well. Okay? Very much like what the yogis have been teaching us for many thousands of years. That's the way to live. And so when you start learning to live from the inside and you're taking care of your mental and emotional bodies, most importantly, your physical body is getting the basic care. And now you're going to start feeling amazing. I am telling you this, guys, because this has been my journey. This has been my path, and this is what I had to realize. I had to make the mental and emotional bodies healthy, and the physical body reciprocates to that. I'm giving the physical body its basic needs. Yes, that's important, but we also have to work with the emotional and mental body, keeping it healthy. Okay? So this is, again, why I've created for free the BCR Technique 30-Day Challenge, cord removal healing, which is another optional healing technique you can look into, and of course conflict elimination technique, which is a level 2 healing practice for you guys for free. So you don't have to shell out thousands and thousands of dollars with this stuff. Everybody deserves to know these techniques. Okay? So you go onto my playlists on my YouTube channel and you start doing it. And now you start feeling a difference as you take care of yourself with your basic needs physically as well too. Okay? Thank you very much. Okay, guys, we're going to probably take about 2 or 3 more questions. Then we're going to do the last group healing, and we're going to wrap up. Okay, here's a question here from Sonia about India. Okay, so I find India will play a major role in the coming years. What is the road ahead for India in the coming months? So we're just looking at the short term right now. Okay, it's really kind of pointless for me to look at the long term because of how things are changing so much. So we basically just look at the past, the present moment, and the near future for India. Okay, so we'll change a bit of the question here. It's not going to be about critical mass or the agenda, just in regards to the road ahead, because that's what you're asking. How are things looking for India in the short times ahead? Okay. Okay, so basically for the past, right, so the alarm has been sounded. So again, India is certainly going through cleanup. They've been going through cleanup for a while now, okay? So the whole idea of cleaning up the debris of the government inside India is already taking place. A lot of the cabal or the Khazarian mafia that has embedded themselves in India, they are very much aware of that, and there's going to be a big cleanup. Cleanup is still taking place, but it's been happening for quite some time. Okay, this is showing that the counter forces are there in present moment. Justice is about to be served here. So India is going to be going through some monumental shifts here very, very quickly. Okay, this is action being taken. This is moving into a new direction, new plans coming together, new concepts, new ideas coming forward. Okay, new actions being brought into place. Okay, being taken into a new arena of activity and action to follow. Okay, so the idea of what's happening behind the scenes, well, I got this card again, right? So again, we may see some transformations with the financial market. We're going to see new leadership coming together as well, too, for India. So yes, they are certainly moving in a very positive direction, and they're moving away from the contamination. They're moving away from the old pollution. They're moving away from the old agendas within the next couple of months. So India is certainly putting its foot down and is taking action towards releasing this entire agenda as well too. And guys, I see that so much with so many countries, right? Just that the people have had enough, and that is something I can say on a global level now. Globally, we have reached critical mass. Okay, we are already there right now. There has been so much work that has been done through the people of the planet, whether it's through convoys and through rallies, freedom protests. A lot of that has been done. Alternative media, right? We've all been doing our part. And the great majority of the planet is certainly awakened right now. They're not fully awakened to a lot of these things that happen, but as far as the mandates go, yes, they are fully awakened about that, and that's what they want to clear out. They may be oblivious to other things and to other themes that are going on, but they're very aware about what's happening with the mandates, and they want that to end. And I hear those conversations as I walk outside each day. People talking about how ridiculous these mandates are. And they're just average Joes, right? Common people. They're not yogis in that way, okay? But they're just average people, and people are even saying that they've had enough. They've had enough of this. So again, we're seeing that. The majority of the planet is certainly at critical mass. So India is moving forward as it needs to. The world is moving forward as it needs to, but do not try and control the direction of this, guys. Just continue to stay in the momentum of energy that you know you prefer to be in, and continue to feed that energy, and let the planet take care of itself in regards to these events that need to happen, watching folds as they take place, watching new things arise, and continuing to give your love, support, and compassion to the entire planet and to the people, because this is what's going to move us forward. Okay? Okay, so let's move on to another question. Okay, here's one from Divine Creator. Divine Creator asked about what's happening with Poland. More information about Poland and what's brewing in this country. Okay, so we'll look into critical mass and into the ending of mandates for Poland. Okay. Okay, so asking, what is the critical mass situation for Poland, and what is the situation pertaining to them ending their mandatory mandate agendas? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so the past, yep, they are renewing themselves. Okay, so there's change happening. This is happening in the past. This is probably within the past couple of months. So there's a new beginning. There's new things arising. There's new plans that are being put into place. Okay, so Poland is being reborn. Okay, it's moving into a much more positive direction. There's been some strategies. There's been some planning, right? There's been some transitions happening in between the scenes. So we may start to see again leaders that are either changing their narrative or going to be changing their narrative, or again, other leaders looking to be released. Guys, it's the same pattern. It's the same pattern I'm getting, okay? So this, again, is the current situation. I think people are bogged down, right? There's a lot of restrictions. The restrictions are probably still happening in Poland. I don't know. I haven't checked out Poland very much, but this is showing that the restrictions are still there. People are getting tired of it. And, of course, people are now going to rise up. We're moving up. We're moving into higher ground right now. We're taking matters into our own hands, and we're moving forward in the near future. Looks like there's going to be some peace restored, okay? But there's going to be some action taken, and Poland is going to move into a direction on a much more positive level as well, too. So like I said, people taking action, people standing up. This is what we have to do. We have to see it. We see this from country to country to country. People standing up, saying they've had enough, they're done, they're ready for change, and this is what's taking place. So has Poland reached critical mass? Absolutely, okay? But it feels like they've been going through a lot of personal frustration, a lot of pain surrounding these whole agendas, as has been many other countries, and they're ready to say enough is enough. We're going to take a stand, and we're going to end these agendas altogether. Okay, so Poland's standing up as well too. Okay, so if you tuned in yesterday and you see this, you're seeing that this is very common with many countries. Like, I'm not being really surprised of what I'm seeing here with many countries. Okay, it's really this, it's a similar kind of pattern. It's a little bit of differences here and there, but it really is just the same kind of pattern. People are standing up. People are going to revolt about this. People are going to retaliate. It's a worldwide revolution that's going to happen country to country to country to country to country. And then they will say enough is enough. We're going to move forward. We're going to take out these transitional agendas, or I would say mandatory agendas, and we're going to move into transitional times. We're moving into transitional government. We're taking the matter into our own hands. We're going to stand up and we're going to let them know we're no longer tolerating this anymore. So that's what's happening, particularly for Poland, particularly for Norway, okay, and many of the other countries that I looked at yesterday. All right. So we're going to do two more questions here with countries. Okay, so we're going to look into Brazil, and then we'll look into Australia next. Okay. So Louise here says, Brad, could you please see the situation in Brazil? Okay. I'm not too sure what the situation is, but we'll look into Brazil about what they're going through right now and what the momentum forward is. I don't keep track of your guys' country, guys, so you got to be a little bit more precise about what you finally want me to look at in regards to your country. Because I don't follow your country's politics. I don't even follow my own country's politics, so let alone anybody else's. So please let me know exactly, specifically what you want me to look into, okay? That's just for future knowledge. Okay, so what is the momentum ahead for Brazil currently? Same kind of cards coming up my way here. All right. So the past, I have talked about South America quite a bit. Okay, we're looking at a very, very resilient bunch of people. Okay, so this is also representing that we can see some new financial changes coming together for Brazil. So I think Brazil is on the bandwagon pertaining to the quantum financial system. Okay, so we may start to see some big financial changes coming together for Brazil. Brazil is completely booting out the Khazarian mafia. Okay, this again is the idea. They're booting out the mafia. The mafia is getting out of Brazil. They're kicking a lot of these tyrants out. The corrupt are being kicked out from Brazil. So there's going to be some planning right now that, again, is leading into transitional times. Here we go. We got this card again. Okay, just as I've explained before. We're seeing some powerful new uprising. We're seeing some new transformations. We're seeing some new changes taking place behind the scene. Brazil is going to be a new type of country. Okay, it's moving in a very, very positive direction. Behind the scenes, there's still some scandals that need to be taken out. There needs to be some scandals that need to be exposed. There's work happening behind the scenes to clearing out, again, a lot of the filth. And this is what's happening. There's scuffles. there's fighting, there's infiltration, there's takedowns taking place behind the scenes. This is happening all over the world. Everywhere, guys. I see it again and again and again. It's not localized to just a couple of countries. Every single country has counterforces in it that are cleaning out the filth. And what they are doing is they are basically pulling the elastic band against the corrupt's own agendas. Like I said, they're pulling it and they're pulling it and they're pulling it and they're pulling it. And then they'll finally launch the elastic band and the corrupt are basically just flinging out of here. So they're basically just playing with the agendas that the corrupt have been doing. This is the best way to, in a tactical way, to attack them. You attack them and you use their own plans against them. You attack them and you use their own agendas against them. You basically smear them. You basically go up against them. You basically take them down psychologically from the inside. And as they start to get waned from that, you go in and you swoop in and you process them and you take them out. Okay? That's their process. That's exactly their strategy of what they're doing in Brazil, in Germany, in Norway, okay, in India. It's exactly what they do. So, okay, you guys want to have your stuff? You go ahead. You have your stuff. You have your authority and you have your power and you have your thrones. And you go ahead and you let out all these agendas happen. And we're going to sabotage every single one of those agendas, and we're going to throw it right back in your face. And we're going to get the people to never trust any of you ever again. And basically just want to rip you guys apart, tear you to shreds. Because that's what we're going to do. Okay? This is the idea of the Khazarian mafia taking their own aggression and their own energy and having it thrown right back in the face. This is why I say the counterforces are not really white hats. Okay? They're more gray hats. They will basically play the same game that the Khazarian mafia is playing, and they will take all of their agendas and throw it right back in their face. They will completely sabotage them from the inside out, and they will do it quietly. So you never know what you're doing. You have to get people like this to read to get an idea about what's happening. And even so, you're only just getting crumbs of the story. It's exactly their strategy. This is psychology. It's what they're doing. It's advanced psychological warfare. They think that they have their thrones and they think they can have their power and they want to unleash all these agendas. Well, we're just going to throw it back in their face. We're going to watch it crumble. We're going to watch that it's going to destroy them. That's what this whole plan is about. That is exactly why COVID has lasted as long as it has. Because it's a plan that needs to crumble over time to have it thrown back in their face so that nobody on this planet will ever trust these types of leaders ever again. Never. And now, there is absolutely no confidence. There's nothing of that nature. These leaders get cast out. They transition. Either they follow the agenda and they change their narrative, or they get cast out. They're sick at home with COVID, right? They're isolated with COVID. And now changes take place. It's the same pattern I've been seeing for months. Okay? It's the psychological game that they're playing. That's how the counterforces work. Okay? They are not angels in disguise. Okay? These guys used to be part of these corrupt groups. They know very well the game that they play. And they used to be part of these secret societies as well, too. So they know exactly how to dish it back to them. And this is exactly what's happening. It's gray hat tactics. It's definitely not white hat. Okay? So let's look into Australia. Okay? So we're going to take a look at Australia and see how Australia is doing at the moment. I know Australia has been ground zero for a lot of this stuff. They've been going through a heck of a time, but in a way that's a great thing because Australia is a concentration country for the Khazarian mafia. Has been for a very long time. That is a Khazarian mafia nest. Okay? The only bigger nest in Australia is Ukraine. Okay? Ukraine, or Khazaria, as it was once known. That was their homeland. That was their big nest. Okay? And still has been their big nest. And that's why there's been such a hammering down on Ukraine. Not upon the innocent people, but all of the concentration of corruption from the Khazarian mafia that is in the Ukraine. For example, laboratories. Okay? It's exactly where the head of the snake has rested its head, is in Khazaria, or Ukraine. Okay, so let's take a look at Australia. So what is the current situation with Australia? How are the Australians doing? What's ahead for the country of Australia? Okay, kind of similar things here. So in the past, it looks like things are already done for Australia. It looks like things are already moving forward. Whatever you guys are seeing in the news pertaining to Australia, it's pretty much just a life movie. Okay, it's pretty much just for dramatic purposes. Okay, the present moment for Australia, people have pretty much won. Okay, you guys are pretty much on the verge of victory right now. Okay. How about the environment for Australia? Still feels pretty hostile because I'm sure they're still painting a very bleak picture, right? There still, of course, is the mandates and so forth. But I don't think that's going to last too much longer because this, again, is what's happening behind the scenes. Justice, okay? So I feel like Australia is imminent from being liberated, okay? Peace is going to be restored here in the next couple of months, okay? So we're seeing some peace being restored from a very horrendous situation. So to me, it looks like Australia is going into something very, very positive in this time. Okay, leaders are about to be exposed in Australia. A lot of the corrupt that have been holding on to this agenda for such a long time now are about to be exposed. Okay, and I feel like this exposure may lead to arrests. It may lead to takedowns. It could lead again to the beginning of transitional government taking place. But it looks like a very bright time is ahead for Australia, okay? Because the people have had enough. They've been really, really diligent protesters, loving people that are moving forward, brave people as well, too, brave souls that have stood together, and they have certainly made an impact, okay? Australia is going to be going through some imminent change here real quick, especially as we get into April, right? Like I said, March is a heavy month. We're going to have some heavy stuff coming out through March. But as we get into April, I feel Australia is going to be moving into a good direction, particularly around April and even some of May also, okay? So Australia, you're moving in a very positive direction. Keep up the great work. Keep doing what you're doing, okay? You're moving ahead really, really well. All right. Okay. So there may be the question, this is from Grow again, is NATO just a spectacle here in Norway now? Exercise, they say. NATO is eventually going to be taken over by the counterforces, okay? They're basically just like how there's been other intelligence agencies as well too that are slowly being taken over by the counterforces, but they have to let them play out their own schemes first, right? So someone has asked me, Brad, is NATO being taken over by the counterforce? In a way, yes, but they're still letting them play out their schemes at the same time, okay? NATO will eventually just dissolve. I don't think it'll be that anymore. I think it's going to turn into something completely different once they play out their plans. Again, this is how you can tell that things are just a movie, okay? When we're really looking at things that would be in actuality, we would see a lot more of these agencies being taken down. We would see a lot more of these agencies going into a complete and total dissolvement, right? If these were actual things that were happening. This is just a movie, okay? This is why things have been prolonging as long as they have been, because it's a movie. It's a dramatic flair to try and awaken people a lot more about what's happening, okay? It's the mind movie. It's the life movie. So again, everything that, and again, we look at these things and say, like, why aren't they doing this? Like, this doesn't make any practical sense about why they're letting these people stay here and they're letting this agency continue in the way that it is, right? Why aren't they just taking down these groups right away? Because it's a movie. And that's the best way I can say it, is that this is all for dramatic flair. This is being purposely done because in front of the scenes, it's meant to look like this. But behind the scenes, it looks like something else entirely. It wouldn't even surprise me if there isn't even a NATO anymore. Okay? It's just Hollywood. It's a Hollywood NATO. Okay? It's a Hollywood UN. It's a Hollywood EU. Okay? It's all of this Hollywood stuff. It's just sets and stages and actors on the stage. That's why I don't believe a single thing that comes in front of the scenes, guys, and neither should you. It's a bunch of actors. It's a bunch of Hollywood. It's just life movies and say, oh, NATO's doing this, and then the EU's talking about this, and then the UN's talking about that, and blah, 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 blah. Garbage, garbage, garbage. It's low-life movies. It's everything. It's a stage. It's film production. It's actors. Right? I don't believe a single thing that is in front of the scenes that's in the camera that's trying to look all neat and tidy. It's nothing but a big stage. Right? And I've said this for quite some time. It's just a big life movie, guys. Don't even buy into it, because behind the scenes, some other things are happening. Like I said, I don't even think there is a NATO anymore. I think it's just existing in front of the camera for Hollywood purposes, for life movies. I don't think there's a European Union anymore. It's just existing in front of the camera for Hollywood purposes. Right? That's all this is what I'm seeing. It's one big, gigantic world movie, because everything that these guys are doing makes no form of rational, logical sense at all. Right? We're seeing this just being carried on, and drama and drama and drama for the past couple of years, because it's all part and parcel of trying to wake people up and getting off their butts, and now making a decision. Now moving into critical mass, and now the movie starts to change. This is why I say, guys, you're better off not even looking at this stuff, because none of it's real. Everything that you're looking at with NATO, and everything that you're looking at with all this stuff with Russia and Ukraine, oh my God, they're starting a war, blah, blah. It's a bunch of Hollywood crap. It's just a bunch of life movie garbage. It's a bunch of nonsense. It's just a bunch of stages and ploys and setting things up and getting actors and getting doubles and using CGI and using all these different things to try and convey certain things that are happening in the life movie that has been actually put together to sanitize what's actually taking place behind the scenes, because the Khazarian mafia is on their last legs and they're dying. And this is all just being put together for our benefit, to create false narratives. I'm not the only one who said this. Tarot by Janine has said the same thing as well too, guys. It's nothing but a big false lie. It's all a movie. It's nothing but a movie. But we get all worked up about it because we're really watching a soap opera. We look at our Days of Our Lives soap opera and think, okay, what's happening on the news right now? Oh, you want to look at your Days of Our Lives soap opera? Because that's what you're doing. You're watching The Young and the Restless. You're watching Days of Our Lives. That's all this is. You're better off taking the remote and turning it off and living your life, right? And offering support to the entire planet through your love and your compassion, learning to live from the inside. That's the true life. That's reality. Everything you see in regards to media is a bunch of crap. It's not real. It's not the truth. This is why we're getting so worked up about all this stuff, about something that's not real. You might as well be just telling me about how the Days of Our Lives soap opera went. I don't know, I hope this character's doing this, and I hope they do this, and blah, 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 and I hope Trump is good, and I hope Trump is blah, 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 blah. And here's the Days of Our Lives soap opera. Then Biden's doing this, and then Trump's doing that, and blah, 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 right? None of these people that are actually politicians actually act like politicians. They act like actors. Gee, why is that? Well, because it's a life movie, right? You have Trump, someone who has starred in Celebrity Apprentice, who knows all about acting, right? Who's going on the stage and doing this. Sure, he's working together with the Alliance, but he's doing these things together no more different than how an actor would. It's just all part of the ploys to keep things intact in front of the scenes until all of the veils are ready to say, okay, we're ready, pull the curtains back, everything gets exposed, the movie is over. And now a new movie begins. And that's all this is. It's constant movie. Okay? You guys have to see this for yourself. You have to say, does any of this stuff make actual rational sense about what they're doing across the planet? When we look at a counterforce, when we look at the Alliance, that they're actually working this way because they honestly want to end everything and end the life movie? No. Guys, the counterforces are part of the life movie. Okay, they're part of it. But we are the ones that are real. Because as we make the changes, as we make the decisions, they got to follow suit with that. Okay? Like I said, the counter forces behind the scenes are just keeping things out of the way so that people can make the decisions, so that we can therefore make the timelines happen. And any sabotage that's trying to come in there, the counter forces are trying to keep them out. They're basically keeping us safe so that we can come out and actually show what reality truly is. That's the idea. It's kind of like they're just being guardians in the background. So this is why I've referred to the human guardians. This is why I've referred to as the cosmic administration. Okay? They're helping to play along with this narrative because this is the only way that people are actually going to wake up, is we have to create this into a movie. We have to create this. We have to give it struggles. We have to give it demises. We have to give it turnarounds. We got to give it plot points so that people can now fall for this narrative and now set themselves free because they've had enough. So they're making the mainstream media into a plot point. They're making it into a narrative of a life movie. And that's all you're watching are soap operas on the TV that are called mainstream media. That's all it is. There's nothing newsy about it. It's a soap opera. That's what you guys are tuning into. That's what you guys are wasting your time looking into. Because you're wasting your time. Right? Just work together with people who are real. Be with your soul tribes. Bring that love, bring that compassion, bring that happiness forward. Because you guys are what's real. We the people are what's real. What you see on TV isn't real at all. It's Hollywood crap. Okay? So that's my take on the whole thing. Take it if you will, but that's what I'm getting. That's my whole perspective on the whole idea of MSM and NATO and EU and UN and blah, 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 blah. It's just a bunch of Hollywood soap opera crap. All right? Okay, so now that that's out of the way, we'll go ahead and we'll conclude now. We're going to do a group healing. It's a good way to end the broadcast, I think. Let me just go back onto the main screen here. So again, like I said, guys, you are what's real. You are what's truth. Okay? We are the ones that truly matter here. We're the ones that make a difference. Everything that you see again in regards to stage play, don't give it any power. Just let it play itself out as it needs to, and we're going to live our lives in the way that we know is right. And we're going to help each other. We're going to help out our soul tribes. We're going to give compassion to the world. We're going to give compassion to the true one family. That's our responsibility because we're the ones actually doing the real work here. Okay? So let's go ahead now and just get ourselves nice and relaxed, nice and comfortable. We can place our hands upon the center of the chest. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, so I want you to set an intention right now if you want this healing to be for yourself or if you want this healing to be sent to somebody else. Okay, so you can just tell that to Spirit. Spirit, I want this sent to myself, or I would like it sent to this specific person. And you can mention that person, okay? All right, so with our hands in prayer posture, opening up the heart, feeling it transparent, feeling all of that spirit light coming directly in between the hands. Okay, taking a deep breath in, making that light brighter and brighter. Deep breath out, extending the hands, making the light bigger and bigger. Okay, brighter and brighter, bigger and bigger, brighter and brighter, bigger and bigger, brighter and brighter, bigger and bigger. Okay, extending the hands as far and as wide as they can go. I can feel so much happier when I'm doing healing work with you guys rather than talking about the narrative crap. I always feel so much happier doing this with you guys more than doing those kind of weird discussions. Okay, so again, hands fully extended out. And now just putting the hands now down on the lap, feeling all of that light now expanding, making it as big as the universe itself, representing your love, your trust, and your faith. And again, telling yourself the important affirmation that I completely believe that what is happening now will heal me or heal that other person. I completely believe that what is happening right now will completely heal me and the other person. Okay? We will begin. Okay, put your focus on the area that is impaired right now. Feel the light of spirit coming into that area that is impaired right now. And witness as that impairment slowly dissolves away with the heavy concentration of spirit light upon it right now. Let the light of spirit stay with you. Let it stay concentrated into this area as you see it reducing in its conditioning, reducing in its pain, reducing in its harshness, until it becomes minuscule, shrinks down, and becomes nothing. And may the light of God be with each and every single one of you. You are blessed, you are well, you are radiant, you are pure, you are perfection. You are what's real. You are what's true. Please remember this. And again, taking your hands all the way out, scooping up all of that light, slowly bring it back into yourself, retracting it back in, saying again, either out loud or in your mind, God is making me better and better. 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 God is making me better and better, putting all of that spirit light back into your heart. And know that you are well. Believe with all of your heart that what you have received has healed you, and the one who you have sent this intention forward to. Love and blessings to you all. Namaste. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to the broadcast today for New Earth TV Live. I'll be back tomorrow morning for the final episode, day number 7 of Conflict Elimination Technique. Feel free to join me again next week for more New Earth Insights and New Earth TV Live as well, too. Take care, everybody. Be well. Remember, you're the only thing that's real. Okay? Be true to yourself. Take care. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you can check out the websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can order a private session, 3 questions by email, EQ method, and a lot more. And you can also check out healingcodecards.com, where you can grab your mind deck, your body deck, and of course the brand new body deck special edition. All of these are available in digital editions as well. And you can also get a shirt just like this through healingcodeshop.com, where you can experience the healing codes in apparel form. So feel free to check out these websites. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Be well.